And Marsau, he had said he don't do anything to get a divorce. And I'm like, dude, you cheat like a mother. Like, dude, shut up. You acting like we ain't been places and you did whatever. Like, if anything, don't say nothing. Don't sit up here trying to make me seem a certain way when you know that you 1,000 times worse than me.
Have you ever believed that a couple on reality TV would be the last ones standing? Marsau and LaTisha Scott were on Love and Marriage Huntsville at the time. They appeared set in stone from the start. They were the anchor the couple producers could count on to provide structure, maturity, and that quintessential power couple vibe, not just a member of the cast. However, in the present day, the same pair who once contributed to the establishment of this show are no longer together.
I understand all of these different projects you have going on, but it's what? Why are you giving me attitude?
I don't think you understand.
I want you to understand my feelings. And I want you to acknowledge my feelings.
I listen to logic. If you want to communicate effectively with me, come in, sit down, and prove your point.
Okay, you name all these different projects you have.
So what's up? According to reports, LaTisha and Marsau were taken off the cast, and not in a discreet, elegant way either. Rumor has it that the producers had finally had enough, and that their actions behind the scenes had a greater influence on the decision than drama or plots. What then went wrong? Why, after so many seasons, did OWN and the show's crew decide to break things off? When it all came to a head, the network decided to stop acting as referee. It turns out that tension had been building for some time, tension that fans didn't always see on camera. This unfolding didn't happen overnight, so we need to go back and see how it got to this point. He was a self-assured businessman who managed Black Cigar Lounge and balanced construction deals, and he and LaTisha performed their roles effectively for a long time. Her steady ascent from stay-at-home mother to businesswoman, and her degrees made her the devoted wife who attracted attention. Together, they created this image, which for a while was accepted by fans.
There are a lot of double standards in this group. Marsau is a big mouth person, and he has a lot of standards, and some of them might be double. I don't know.
However, eventually flaws appeared, and viewers began to notice small details that didn't seem so well executed. They had awkward encounters during interviews, with Marsau talking down to LaTisha in that slick, dismissive tone or interrupting her. Although LaTisha would laugh it off, her face conveyed a different message as fans noticed. Social media became a flurry of activity as people expressed how awkward those moments felt. The reunions followed, and each time it seemed that their tension increased, their arguments became more pointed, and LaTisha would occasionally become tearful as she stood up for Marsau, but he would dismiss her. She once sobbed when Carlos King brought up the persistent rumors of cheating, but Marsau sidestepped the situation by claiming that people were merely jealous or attempting to discredit them. Fans, however, were no longer buying that. In the background, the couple was also being criticized for avoiding openness. Marsau and LaTisha were frequently accused of avoiding serious subjects, while other cast members were discussing their personal hardships. They would become defensive or change the subject whenever the cheating rumors surfaced. Fans and producers began to feel as though they were playing a different game, one that was more focused on control than on connection. A completely different level of drama was occurring off camera, however, while the fans were beginning to side-eye. Sources close to production say that things became challenging. Once providing structure to the program, Marsau was said to have lost his control and would occasionally arrive late or not at all for filming. When he finally arrived, his demeanor had changed. He had this take-it-or-leave-it mentality, according to insiders. He wanted to steer the story, object to the way certain scenes were filmed, and continuously challenge the producer's choices. It started to wear you out.
Like what? I don't understand. Like what?
Okay. I'm sorry. Sure.
A lot of times, Tisha hears things about Marsau she probably already know. She just don't want you to know. Because then, the more people know, the more she might have to do something about it. Almost how Melody had to do. You know? That's why I try to keep whatever Marsau and I done in the past with women and places we've gone, things we've done, people we shared. Him after me, though.
Not far behind was LaTisha. She allegedly argued with producers about editing, accused them of giving preference to some actors, and even attempted to have scenes that she or Marsau thought were unflattering cut. Tensions with the rest of the cast were also rising, and they weren't just at odds with the producers. They were constantly questioning the process instead of trusting it. Although Marsau's problems with Melody Shari were never minor, they began to interfere with the movie's production. Side comments, walkouts, or outright shouting matches would cause even group scenes to collapse. LaTisha's conflict with Dr. Heavenly during her appearance on the show only served to exacerbate the situation. Once a workspace, the set was now a tumultuous place. In order to keep scenes on schedule, producers had to start holding separate meetings. They attempted to resolve the conflict and mediate it, but LaTisha's persistent resistance and Marsau's ego proved to be too much. However, none of that was enough to push the network over the edge. What did actually decide their fate? Was it only the conflicts or problems with control? It all changed because of one particular incident. What specifically was the last straw that caused Marsau and LaTisha to be removed from Love and Marriage Huntsville then? There was one significant incident that went too far during filming, according to several insiders. It wasn't just any reality TV drama, it was serious. Marsau allegedly got into a heated argument that swiftly got out of hand during what was supposed to be a routine scene. According to sources, during the blow-up, there were arguments that went beyond the usual cast friction, including threats and loud shouting. What, however, actually made matters worse? Production takes seriously the claim that Marsau disrespected a crew member in a moment of rage. He allegedly cursed out a staff member and used foul language, according to one report. Some claim that LaTisha was also involved and that her attempts to step in only made things worse. Marsau reportedly refused to complete the scene and left the set at one point. Now, this altercation never aired because the producers decided to keep it off camera, perhaps to preserve the show's reputation or prevent more conflict. However, things quickly changed once legal teams became involved, most likely as a result of crew complaints or internal HR issues. The couple was informed that they would no longer be featured on the show, and their run on it ended abruptly. It was reported that producers decided they were done behind closed doors. Contracts were pulled quietly with no big announcement or send-off, just a cold end. The internet exploded after word spread, and the fan base for Marriage and Love became divided into opposing factions. According to some fans, Marsau's actions toward the cast and his own wife had been poisonous for years, and the dismissal was long overdue. They cited scenes in which he seemed to disparage LaTisha, gaslight people, or incite drama without taking responsibility. Others defended the Scotts, claiming that the recent incident was merely a pretext to fire them because producers had been manipulating the plot for seasons in order to create drama, and they believed the couple was being set up to fail. In the meantime, fresh accusations erupted on gossip blogs. Rumors of Marsau's adultery began to surface again. Some even said he threatened to walk away from producers who said he didn't want to film with certain cast members anymore. Then there were rumors that LaTisha was challenging behind the scenes, claiming that producers were biased, demanding that edits be altered, and arguing with them about plot points that she disagreed with. Rather than trying to repair the damage during interviews, LaTisha posted ambiguous quotes and cryptic messages about loyalty, betrayal, and true people sticking together on social media. While fans argued on social media, another storm was already brewing, one that would severely affect the couple's public image and business world. Fans weren't buying it though, and comment sections soon swelled with people criticizing her, demanding the truth, or simply saying the couple got what they deserved. For Marsau and LaTisha, losing the show was a serious setback, but what might have happened next was even worse. Following their departure from Love and Marriage Huntsville, rumors began to circulate that their companies were suffering. According to reports, Marsau's construction business, Black Cigar Lounge, and other real estate endeavors that the couple used to proudly advertise on the show are suffering significant setbacks. Some of Marsau's business partnerships, according to insiders, have soured. Some partners who formerly supported his brand are now discreetly pulling away. Just contracts not being renewed and calls not being returned, no press releases, no big announcements, are typically indicators that harm has already been done behind the scenes. Even LaTisha isn't immune. It appears that her real estate endeavors, which she frequently highlighted as a plot point, are waning. After the couple's drama made headlines, one source even claimed that a local partnership she was attempting to secure abruptly fell through. Clients have reportedly backed out of deals. When your entire brand is based on portraying a strong, prosperous couple on television who promote the idea of Black excellence, marriage, and business ownership, it is understandable that losing that spotlight would rock your entire brand. Not in a positive way, you are now the headline rather than the inspiration. The question that has been plaguing everyone is what will happen to Marsau and LaTisha next. According to some sources, the Scotts are already planning their next course of action. It has been reported that they have been exploring concepts for a digital series or spin-off in which they have complete control over the plot. Fans who think they were wrongfully kicked out still want to hear their side of the story. There is currently nothing off the table in terms of a YouTube series, podcast, or possibly even a self-funded documentary, but other insiders claim that OWN is finished, like finished. That the couple is deemed too risky to bring back in any way and too challenging to handle behind closed doors by the network, particularly in light of the alleged crew incident and the mounting list of off-camera problems. However, one thing Marsau and LaTisha excel at is keeping the conversation going, whether it's through subtly suggestive Instagram posts, indirect tweets, or simply turning up at public gatherings smiling as if nothing had happened. They manage to keep people talking. Don't write them off just yet, even though it appears that the empire is disintegrating. Whether you agree with them or not, it's obvious that the Scott story isn't finished. However, they are currently in full-blown damage control. There are no longer any producers to edit the scenes and no network filter. This will be more than just a PR crisis if the business deals continue to dry up, so they need to quickly and completely rebuild their brand. A financial one will also be involved. So what do you believe actually caused them to fail? Were Marsau and LaTisha destined for this kind of fallout, or was it just an attitude? Since we're all watching this unfold in real time, please share your thoughts in the comments section. You can also click the like button if you would like to see more videos like this one